Hey guys, Crazy Postman here. So, I don't know if you watched my last episode or not, but we are out in the middle of nowhere, Oklahoma, and I just wanted to drive around to a few of the Francis energy stations on my route back home. So we're going to check on the reliability and the condition and the usability of these Francis stations. Now I'm currently out in the middle of nowhere, Oklahoma, on Highway 89 north of Ringling, if you want to figure out where I'm at. So literally literally nothing going on out here. There's some cows. The speed limit's 65 and I'm stuck behind this guy going 57. So we're going to go ahead and go around this guy. So let me get some miles on this car. I just left the awesome EVgo Ultium site there in Ardmore, Oklahoma. If you haven't seen that episode, I will link it in the description. We're going to go find the nearest Francis Energy site, which is in Walters, Oklahoma, and it is 56 minutes away, 54 miles away, and I will see y'all when I get there. Okay, here we are at the first Francis test site of the day. Is it going to work on the first try, or is it going to be a big dove? Of course, it's not going to work well. So we know one is not going to work. Let's go ahead and try one of the 50 kWs first. So what I'm going to do is we are going to try to use my credit card at the credit card reader instead of using my RFID card, because I have never got to a Francis charger and the credit card reader worked. So we will have my RFID card as a backup, but I'm going to try the credit card reader first. So here we go. We're at station number 3. We know station number 1 is the one that's not working, so we're going to try this here. Plug in first, and then I'm going to try to use my card. Okay, so now it's wanting me to pay. We're going to say credit card. I'll slip our credit card in there. Credit card. Payment error. Retry. Let's try again. Yeah, it's not going to work. All right. So we are officially giving up on this credit card terminal. We're going to reset everything by unplugging this, and then we're going to plug it back in, because it's probably about timed out. So now we're going to say RFID. Okay, it's trying my RFID. Initializing. Charge failed. Communications failed. All right, so let's try again. Now we're going to try the RFID, because we know the credit card reader doesn't work. Payment authorized. Initializing. And charge failed. It clicked for a second and then it didn't charge. We'll try it one more time and then we'll pull across the other one. All right, it's ready for my RFID. Let's listen for the clicks. Click, 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 charge failed. So this station was showing it worked, and it doesn't work. All right, let's pull across this one. Holy crap, what do we got going on here? A minivan pulling a full-size van, pulling a SUV. All right, looks like many people have pulled this one across. Okay, we are plugged in. Oh, that's the wrong card. Hang on a second. I tried to use my credit card. There we go. That'll work better. Initiating. Click. Charge failed. Communication failed. Same thing. There's obviously a site problem here. So this one is not working. That one is not working. We know the first one is not working because it said it was unavailable. Let's go. Let's go over here and look. Plug that back in. So this one here says it's available, and this first one is the one that says it wasn't available. Unavailable. And you can see the trash can is out here, but it's full. All right. What do you think of that, Duck? You knew that wasn't going to work, didn't you? All right, here we go. Let's move. So here's the score so far. These two stations don't work. It is very windy out here. You can look up there at the wind generators. They are spinning pretty quick. Those two over there did not work. I went ahead and put on my microphone because it is very windy out here. So you can see this one says unavailable. Trash cans are completely full. And you can see the wind. Actually, it's died down just a little bit since the last time I tried to film, but I went and got my microphone because it was so dang windy. So let's try this here. Now, according to PlugShare, this one here that I'm using gets derated after a few minutes. Obviously, it has cable cooling issues. I hear some clicks. So we are going to be able to charge on this one from what the PlugShare reports look like, but like I say, it's going to derate, and look, it's not even going to ramp up in the first place. Yep, 50 kilowatts. So we didn't even get a 2-minute fast charge before it derated. It derated immediately. Basically, what we have here in Walters is 3 50 kilowatt chargers. Now, this high-powered charger is limited to 50 because of cable cooling problems, evidently. Or it could be power unit problems, don't know for sure. But these 50 kilowatt chargers, they will not charge Ioniq 5. I think is the problem. These are the oh, it shut off. What do we got? Charging stopped, unplug. So we got 0.8 kilowatt hours, and that was it. Let's try again. So literally, I can't charge here in my Ioniq 5 because it won't charge on those 250s over there. And this higher powered one here is obviously having trouble. So let's authorize this again. Authorizing payment. Payment authorized. Initiating. So we'll try this again, and it's gonna fail again. Now, one thing that doesn't fail is they charge me $20 every time I try. I don't know if y'all can see that. So far today, I've probably gotten $20, $40, $60, $80 worth of pre-authorizations on my debit card. Charge failed, over temp. There you go. So now we know what the failure is. It is cable cooling. So there is evidently no cable cooling in this cord, and it won't even charge. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to leave a negative review on PlugShare. I am completely unable to charge at this site in my car, and you know, it may only be a Ioniq 5 thing. I bet if a 400 volt car showed up, those 250s there would work. But if an Ioniq 5 showed up here with 0% and they were relying on this to work, they are screwed, because it's not gonna work. Look at, is that how we fix things? Is that tape? Oh boy. All right, let's move on to the next site. Hopefully I can get a charge at Lawton, Oklahoma. Just in case you're curious, this is what the back of this Francis Energy site looks like. There is a, looks like a, it says 300. It might be a 300 kVA. That's pretty small if it's only 300. Let's look. Yeah, 300 kVA. And that's what it looks like in the back here. So that one tower there is for both of the high-powered units, and then the two 50 kW units are just ran directly. They're standalone units. They don't require anything back here to operate. All right, buddy, let's go to the next town and try Lawton. All right, so we're en route to the next station in Lawton, Oklahoma. It's probably 20 or 30 miles north of where I just was at. Wow, this road's terrible. So at Lawton, there is 4 of the higher powered, what they call 200 kilowatt stations. Now, they're really just 300 amps. So I wish these stations would be labeled under amperage and voltage instead of kilowatts, because kilowatts is useless with half the new cars being 400 volts and half the new cars being 1,000 volts, 800 volts. You can't really tell what your kilowatts are going to be super easily. So at this next site I'm going to, there's 4 high-powered ones, which are the 300 amps, which I should be able to pull full power on. They have 6 or 8 of the 50 kW stations there. And I think I am able to charge on these, because it's the BTC 50 kilowatt stations that are such crap that give me so much trouble with the 800 volt car. So we're pulling into the shopping center where the Francis Energies are, and it looks like there is nobody over there right now. Now, I did look on the map and discover that 2 of the 300 amp stations are unavailable. So that leaves 5 and 6 it shows are working, and 7 and 8 it shows are unavailable. And then there is only 4 50 kW stations on the other side, and it shows they are all available. So we'll go ahead and try. If experience tells me, I hadn't been here in months and months, but the last 2 are the ones that work. These 2 here on the end have never really ever worked. So we'll go ahead and try one of the 2 that says it's online and see if we can get a charge. All right, so here we are at the Lawton site. Supposedly this one works. It says in the app it does. So what we're gonna do first of all is try the credit card, and then when that 100% certainly fails, I know it's going to fail, we will pull out the RFID card. So place your bets now. Are any of these two high-powered units going to work? Let's find out. Getting this bad boy opened up. Okay, when I plug that in, the air conditioner immediately dies in the car, unfortunately, for Duck. Trying this way. I did get a red light, payment error. Retry one more time. Say credit card. Swiping my card. Payment error. All right, we're giving up on credit card. But I'm going to quickly pull this out and reset everything. All right, RFID. Bam. Now, if this does work, we'll let it go for a few minutes just to see that it is working and we're not going to have a cable failure or anything. At 56%, I should be able to request full power. 130 kilowatts, so we're definitely reduced power if that's all it's going to give me. I should be able to go over 200 at this point. So we'll go ahead and stop this and I'll try the next one. I'm going to get charged $20 again. I'm going to have $200 of pre-authorizations here today. So that is plugged in. It's saying to present my RFID card. Authorizing payment. Initiating. So this one's going to level out at 129 kilowatts. That is unfortunate. So this one is definitely limiting my charge too. I should be able to max out on this, but I can't. I'm going to go ahead and stop that. And for grins, we will go try one of these 50 kilowatt units over here. Let's see. The app shows that they're all available. Let's see what the situation looks like. Oh, these have those huge cables. This one looks like it's on. This one, the screen's busted, but it might work. This one looks like it's available. This one looks like it's available. And these have the NIACs on them. These are not very reliable either, but I mean, the screen's on and it shows that it's working. So we will try paying with credit card first. Let's go get the car moved. Got my credit card in my hand. We're going to plug in first. Okay, plugged in the car. The air conditioning stopped per usual. And try another card.
Authorizing.
Oh, this might work. This might be a first ever approved.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, that is the first time I've ever been to a Francis and the credit card reader worked. Of course, most of the time in my area, I'm on the trashy BTC hardware, and this is a, what is this? This is a Telus Power. So Telus Power seems pretty reliable. They're just lower powered is all. You can see the cellular antenna just magnet mounted up here to the top. That's for the data connection for the credit card terminal and the data connection for the machine. Oh, look, there's a second antenna and they have it on the front. Why would you do that? Let's put it up there on top. Waiting for EV. We'll keep waiting. It's got 20 more seconds before it times out. Look, the other antennas are on the front of those as well. I think somebody was just messing with it. I'm gonna move them to the top for Francis. Here in the middle of city limits, I'm sure they have a good enough cell signal. You can see the cellular and data antennas on the BTC units are car fins, kind of like on your car. Failure to connect to your electric vehicle. Okay. Let's go ahead and try again. Waiting for EV response. 100 seconds. Well, we'll just keep waiting. I'll come back if it starts charging. So we just had another failure here. It would not connect to my car. Now these are 500 volt stations. They are able to put out 140 amps. But evidently, they are not playing nice with the 800 volt car. Let's move a station and see if it's just my car. We're gonna try to just stretch this over. It might reach, actually. These cords are super heavy. Okay, it's connected to the car. Let's go over here and do the old tappy tap. Oh wait, stuff is clicking. Okay, so I am charging. Let's see what it ramps up to. I did just get charged $20 more from Francis. It should ramp up to the full 140 amps. There we go. That screen is horrible. So you can see here, if you can, it's putting in 453 volts at 138 amps, and the Ionic 5 is working its magic to match the voltage. Remember, it uses the car's inverter and motor somehow magically to make these 50 kW units work. But this one happens to be working, so we'll go ahead and let it run a couple minutes and we'll move on to the next Francis site. Two of the high-powered ones were working, but they were derated. I was only able to get about 140 kilowatts out of them. And for these 50 kilowatt units, they do work, except for all right, so here's our final stop of the day, and these are the infamous BTC L3S4 5208s that will not charge an Ionic 5. Now, these are only about 20 miles off my route, so I knew they weren't going to work, but I just came here anyway just to show how ridiculous it is that Francis can't get these fixed. Now, it is unfortunate for Francis because really the fault lies with BTC Power. That's the manufacturer of these. So the hardware is fully functional. There's nothing wrong with these two stations. They both work if you drive a 400 volt car. So it's completely BTC's fault that these will not charge an Ionic 5. We'll go ahead and I will show you what happens. I'm not even going to try the credit card reader because we know the credit card reader is not going to work. No use to waste time there. Plug in first. I do like these cables, by the way. These are the Rima, and they're just air-cooled cables. I do like these. It's a nice connection and a good cable. But they're not for spicy stuff. It's just air-cooled. So let's go ahead and swipe the card. And this will not work. There's a 0% chance of this working. It sounds like it's gonna work. Everything clicks. It even says it charges. But it definitely charged my Coinbase card, $20, but it will not charge my car. It'll show charging, but 0 kilowatts delivered. And this has been like this since the beginning of time. It's never charged an 800 volt car, unfortunately. I used to get successful charges here when I had my Tesla and when I had my Mach-E. It would work fine down here, just really slow, because these have a 120 amp limit, I think. If you look over here on the side, 115 amps max. So, charge failed. Isolation test failed. That's a different failure than normal. Let's go ahead and try again. Charge failed. Isolation test failed. So maybe there is, oh gosh, there's another $20. Maybe there is something wrong with this one. Let's try the other one. Cord easily reaches across. You can see these screens have the BTC burn-in, is what I call it. Oh, there's another charge. Looky there, $20 again. Francis is getting rich on my temporary authorizations here. We're probably over $200 for the day. It is really windy out here. Hopefully none of that's getting into the microphone. Charging failed. Isolation test failed again on this one. So it's acting differently. We already know that this site will not charge Ioniq 5s, but normally what happens is it will show the charging screen like it's charging, but deliver 0 kilowatts. So maybe these stations are working and it's just failing in a different way. Let's try one more time. Reset the station by just pulling it out for a second and then putting it back in. Show our RFID card. Give it one more chance to fail. We know it's gonna fail. Hey guys, here in Frederick, Oklahoma at the 50 kilowatt chargers. Now, unfortunately, there's a 0% chance this is gonna work because these will not charge Ioniq 5s. I just thought I would stop here and bust Francis's balls again for not getting this fixed. Of course, it's unfortunate for Francis because this really is a BTC power problem. They're the hardware providers. Francis is just the one that gets all the bad street cred because it's their name on the machine. But it's not gonna work. I started it a few minutes ago and it will go and it will say isolation test failed. There you go, charge failed. Even these got the BTC burn-in going on, but isolation test failed. And that's the same thing that happened on that machine just a few minutes ago when I tried it. So that's a complete fail here in Frederick, Oklahoma. All right, so that's a complete fail here in Frederick, Oklahoma. Couldn't even get the charging screen to come up today. I've tried twice on both stations. They just say isolation test failed. I knew they weren't gonna work, but it's just a different failure than normal. So thanks a lot, BTC Power, for providing terrible hardware. I know Francis gets the bad rap because it's their name on it, but y'all don't forget, BTC Power is the company that makes this trash. They need to be much more reliable. So that brings an end to my episode. Going to head on home and start editing some videos. Thanks for watching this Francis Energy checkup video. You can see the state of their network is pretty poor, unfortunately. So me and Duck are gonna head back to the house and we will see y'all in the next episode. Thanks for watching. And just see what the oh my gosh. That was extremely loud ringtone.